So I just want to clear up one thing, which is when Ted said that when we walked into the door and we said, we know how to help them build products, that was not true. We came in and said somebody needs to help them figure out how to build it. And Bailey and I, as sophomores who had no real engineering experience, said, we might not know who it is, but we'll find those people and we'll bring them into the Sherman Center. So I just want to clarify that. But so today is actually my first day back at Northeastern as an alumni. I graduated in May with a lot of other people. I was traveling for the summer, so I'm finally back, and this is such an awesome day to be back at Northeastern. And I actually got to meet Jackie earlier this morning, and she asked me about the founding story of Generate and what happened. And to Ted's point, one of the first things that we said at our first ever meeting that I think was October 20-something, 2016, was that we were going to have a consulting group, which is the product development studio. We were going to have a community around events and teaching, and we were going to advocate for the creation of a space. And so it's awesome that on my first day back as an alumni, we can celebrate the creation of this space thanks to the generosity of the Sherman family, the hard work of so many people like Shashi, Professor Goldstone, Mark Sivak, and of course, Ted and all the students who I know put in so much work and effort into designing this space to be effective. I want to give a thank you to Kelly Lynch, Rachel Shapiro, Lexi Spikerman, Nick Parente, and Bailey Kane, who were the initial management team at Generate, who the six of us would sit in the conference room over there, not knowing anything, and being like, this is how we're going to put together a team. This is what we're going to do. And to get to 18 people in our first semester, because we had examples from IDEA and Scout and how the Sherman Center was already running, was super helpful. And so we got to leverage the knowledge of everybody else who came before us, which I think is a huge part of the Sherman Center, which is to learn from each other. And I really appreciate that. On my personal management teams in the future, Anahis Kachechin and Becca Peng were also a part of those. And they, as the 2 years that we were running Generate went through, really helped continue to develop and push the program. Beyond that, Ted mentioned the future executive directors, Maddie Ledger, Dan Bartels, and Reza Akhtar, who have pushed this team from 18 people in a smaller space that had no idea what we were doing to a team of 72, 68, still incredible, that can leverage this space, can leverage the original space, can leverage all of these mentors, works on countless projects, now has a dedicated software development team and hardware product development team, which is incredible. And of course, none of this would be possible for us as students without the mentorships of our professors. Ted Johnson, who is a professor to all of us in leadership. Shashi and Mark, who always pushed us. I remember at the end of our first semester with Generate, Mark asked us to write, what did we do? For everything that we did, rank ourselves on a scale of 0 to 5. There was not a single thing above 3. And that was the best thing to hear ever, because it pushed us a lot. Shashi, with his ability to push us, I remember the first time that Bailey and I came and pitched Generate to Ted and Shashi. Shashi said, this is a good idea. Other people have said this before. Go do it. So we did it. And of course, Professor Goldstone, who is now helping push everything with these great ideas in the future of where the Sherman Center is going. The last thing that I want to say is that space, physical space, matters a lot. I remember at the end of my time in Generate, I wrote the Sherman family a letter telling them that that space that they had provided for us as a team didn't just give us space as a team, it built us a community. Because our first semester in Generate, we actually didn't have full access to the space yet. We were trying to figure everything out. And that semester, the community within Generate and the Sherman Center was non-existent almost, except for the people who did have access. The second that we had unlimited access to this space, where people could show up together, learn from each other, talk to each other, not just about the work that we did with Generate and the Sherman Center, just about what's going on with our lives, was critical in the formation of the community. Now we have, 6, 7 times the amount of space. That community is just going to soar. And I look forward to the point in which this feels like a reunion every single year. I heard earlier today that one of Mr. Sherman's friends from undergrad at Northeastern is here in the room. And I'm excited that in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, we all come back to this space. that we all come back to this space as golden alums, or whatever they're calling them these days, 50 plus years alums, and we come back to this space and we say, we were in Generate together in one of the first years or in one of the third years. And that is what I truly hope that this space can provide beyond all the incredible things that it's going to do for the engineering and entrepreneurship community here at Northeastern. So thank you all again for all the support that all of you have provided, specifically the Sherman family. So now.